Bonjour and welcome to Le Podcast de Philippe.
Yeah.
Today, we're wrapping up our CES 2025 coverage.
Okay.
We've got reports and articles piled high here.
Lots to go through.
Ready for a deep dive into day 5.
The final day.
Yeah, the final day of the event.
Right.
It's been a whirlwind so far.
Definitely.
But instead of just listing everything,
yeah.
we're going to focus on what really stood out.
The highlights.
Yeah, for better or for worse.
The good and the bad.
Exactly.
Okay.
So get ready for some surprising insights on the tech that wowed us, the innovations that fell short, and what it all means for the future.
We're looking ahead.
Yeah. And don't forget, if you want to stay ahead of the curve, be sure to subscribe to our channel on YouTube.
So one thing that really stood out to me this year
Okay.
was how some of the biggest names in tech seemed to stumble,
Interesting.
while smaller companies, startups, they really stole the show with some unexpected innovations.
That's right. Let's start with the disappointments. Some anticipated advancements, especially in TVs and laptops, felt more like incremental updates than the groundbreaking reveals we've come to expect from CES.
Right. Take the TV industry, for example. Last year, we saw LG's transparent OLED, Samsung's glare-free OLED screens. Those felt like major leaps forward this year. Those companies mostly showcased refinements to existing technology.
Yeah, and those are important.
They are.
But they didn't generate the same level of excitement.
No, they didn't.
It's almost as if they're perfecting what they already have instead of unveiling entirely new concepts.
Exactly. And the laptop scene echoed that sentiment.
Yeah.
Lenovo did unveil a rollable display concept.
Okay.
But that's more of a glimpse into the distant future than a product you'll be buying anytime soon.
Right.
For the most part, laptop manufacturers focused on improving internal components, faster processors, increased RAM. These spec bumps, as they're called, they're beneficial, but they don't necessarily revolutionize the user experience.
So are these industries hitting a plateau? Or are they laying the groundwork for something bigger down the line? It's hard to say.
It is an interesting question.
It really is.
A lot of people think we're in a period of refinement before the next wave of major innovation.
Now let's talk about AI. It was everywhere at CES.
It was.
But did it live up to the hype?
So while companies like NVIDIA made significant strides in AI technology, a lot of other AI demonstrations felt more like flashy gimmicks than practical solutions. They didn't really address real-world problems that everyday users face.
You know, I'm still waiting for the AI that can sort my laundry or find my misplaced keys.
It does feel like we're still waiting for AI to truly integrate into our lives in a meaningful way.
And speaking of unmet expectations, the smartphone world also seemed to play it safe this year.
Yeah.
Foldable phones are becoming more mainstream.
Right.
But we didn't see many of the truly unique concepts that CES is known for.
I know what you mean.
Things like the stretchable displays or the wrist phone from last year.
Those were wild. Makes you wonder if the industry is becoming more risk-averse.
Maybe. Maybe they're just biding their time, waiting for the right moment to unveil the next generation of smartphones.
Perhaps. But let's move on to another surprising absence at CES this year, the automotive industry.
You're kidding. Several major car manufacturers decided to skip the event altogether.
I know, it's strange.
Audi, Mercedes, even the American Big Three were notably absent. Hyundai and Kia had a very limited presence as well. It's a curious shift.
It is.
Considering that CES has become a major platform for showcasing automotive technology.
Especially in recent years.
Yeah. Maybe they're choosing to announce their innovations through other channels or events.
That's certainly a possibility.
Speaking of disappointments, I have to mention the Dream X50 Ultra Robot Vacuum.
Oh, yeah. It was heavily hyped
For
its stair-climbing abilities.
It turns out those tiny legs are only capable of navigating minor ledges, not full staircases.
It seems they overpromised and underdelivered.
Yeah, they did. And finally, even the audio industry felt a bit muted this year.
That's true. There weren't many groundbreaking new products in the audio space.
The most notable development was probably Samsung's Eclipse Audio, which is their alternative to Dolby Atmos. For 3D audio, it's a step forward, but not a giant leap.
So as you can see, there were quite a few areas where CES 2025 didn't quite live up to the hype.
But let's not get too bogged down in the negatives. There were still some genuinely exciting highlights.
You're absolutely right.
even if they came from unexpected corners.
And that's what we'll explore next.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so we've covered some of the letdowns of CES 2025, but what about the highlights?
Right.
This year's event still had its share of innovation and excitement.
Absolutely. One of the things that struck me was how certain themes emerged, cutting across different product categories.
And boy,
Sustainability, for example.
that was a major focus this year. It seemed like every company, from appliance manufacturers to tech giants, were emphasizing their commitment to eco-friendly practices.
Yeah, we saw energy-efficient devices, products made from recycled materials,
Right.
and a growing emphasis on reducing waste throughout the manufacturing process.
And it's not just a marketing ploy.
I think you're right.
There's a genuine understanding now that sustainability is good for business, good for the planet, and ultimately good for the consumer.
Speaking of trends, another one that caught my eye was the increasing convergence of technology.
Oh, interesting.
The lines between different industries are blurring. We're seeing more integration and cross-pollination of ideas.
A great example of this is how AI is being incorporated into virtually every aspect of our lives.
Exactly.
From cars and smartphones to kitchen appliances and even toothbrushes.
It's crazy. We're moving away from standalone devices.
Right.
And towards interconnected ecosystems.
Right.
Where technology works seamlessly
Yeah.
to enhance our lives.
Of course. This raises some important questions
Not this.
about data privacy and the potential downsides of such interconnectedness.
It's a trade-off. As technology becomes more integrated into our daily lives, it's crucial to consider the ethical implications and ensure these advancements are used responsibly.
Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about some specific products that made a splash at CES, one that generated a lot of buzz and some controversy. Was the robotics AI girlfriend Arian.
I saw that. This $170,000 AI companion designed to provide companionship and even address loneliness. But it also raises questions.
It does.
About a relationship with technology and the potential for objectification.
It's a complex issue with no easy answers. On the one hand, you have the potential for AI companions to provide valuable assistance and support.
I can see that.
Especially for the elderly or those living alone, on the other hand. There are concerns about the ethical implications of creating such lifelike robots and the potential for them to be misused.
It's definitely a discussion we need to have as this technology continues to evolve.
Absolutely, but let's move on to some more lighthearted highlights. One that I found particularly charming was Yukai Engineering's Mirumi robot. This fluffy, baby-like robot is designed to bring joy and comfort.
What? How does it do that?
Well, it doesn't have any practical functions, but its sole purpose is to evoke positive emotions.
So it's just cute.
Yeah, basically.
That's funny.
They also showcased Nekuchita Fufu,
Okay.
a tiny cat robot that sits on the edge of your glass and gently cools your drink with its tail.
Really?
It's whimsical and surprisingly practical.
And for those of us who are always rushing in the mornings, the Y-Brush Ultra might be a game changer.
That's the toothbrush, right?
Yeah. This innovative toothbrush promises a thorough cleaning in just 20 seconds.
I read about that.
Using a U-shaped brush and chewing motions.
It's a very different approach.
It is.
To oral hygiene.
Yeah, and one that could save a lot of time. And for the cooking enthusiasts out there, the Spicer AI Spice Machine could revolutionize the way we prepare meals. It uses AI to determine precise spice amounts. And dispenses them from capsules.
So you don't have to measure anything.
Exactly.
That's cool.
It's like having a personal sous chef right on your countertop.
And speaking of luxury, gamers will appreciate Razer's climate-controlled gaming chair.
Climate-controlled.
This concept chair boasts a self-regulating heater and a fan system.
Really?
We keep gamers comfortable during long gaming sessions.
That's pretty fancy.
It is. It's a testament to how technology is evolving to cater to our specific needs and interests.
So even though CES 2025 had its share of disappointments, there were still plenty of innovative products and concepts to get excited about.
And these highlights reveal some interesting trends and raise important questions about the future of technology.
Indeed, and that's what we'll delve into next. We've explored the highs and lows of CES 2025. But what does it all mean for the average consumer?
That's the key question, isn't it? CES often feels like a glimpse into the future.
It does.
But how will these emerging technologies actually impact our lives.
We saw a lot of AI,
Okay.
robots that range from practical to whimsical,
Yeah.
and a strong emphasis on sustainability. But how will these trends translate into tangible benefits for you and me?
Take AI, for example. While a lot of the demonstrations at CES felt gimmicky, the underlying technology is advancing rapidly. We're going to see AI integrated into more and more aspects of our lives, whether we realize it or not.
Which raises questions about how we ensure that AI is developed and used ethically and responsibly.
Right.
We need to think about data privacy, algorithmic bias, and the potential impact on jobs and society
Absolutely.
as a whole.
It's not enough to just marvel at the technology. We need to have thoughtful discussions about the implications and potential consequences.
What about robotics? We saw robots designed to provide companionship, assist with household chores, and even cool our drinks.
Robotics is another field that's poised for significant growth. As robots become more sophisticated and more affordable, we're likely to see them playing a bigger role in our homes, workplaces, and communities.
Which brings us back to that controversial AI girlfriend we discussed earlier.
Right.
It's a stark example of how robotics is pushing the boundaries
It really is.
of what's possible.
Yeah.
But it also forces us to confront some uncomfortable questions about our relationship with technology.
It is a reminder that technological progress is not without its ethical dilemmas. We need to approach these advancements with caution and make sure they align with our values
and aspirations.
And then there's the issue of sustainability, which was a recurring theme at CES.
It was.
It's encouraging to see companies prioritizing eco-friendly practices, but sustainability is an ongoing journey, not a destination.
So true.
We need to hold companies accountable for their environmental commitments. And as consumers, we have a role to play as well by making conscious choices and supporting businesses that are truly committed to a sustainable future.
So CES 2025 was a mixed bag of excitement, disappointment, and thought-provoking questions.
But ultimately, it provided a valuable glimpse into the future of technology and the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead.
What are your takeaways from this year's event? Which trends or products resonated with you the most? And what are you most excited or apprehensive about as technology continues to evolve?
Those are great questions to think about. The future is not predetermined. It's shaped by the choices we make today.
That's a great point to end on. As we navigate this rapidly changing technological landscape, it's crucial to stay informed, engage in critical thinking, and participate in shaping a future where technology serves humanity and the planet.
I couldn't agree more.
And that wraps up our deep dive into CES 2025. We hope you found it insightful and engaging. Be sure to subscribe to Le Podcast de Philippe on YouTube for more explorations of the world of technology and beyond. Until next time.